Esther, tell us a little bit about you.
My name's Esther. I'm 18. I live in Jerusalem right now. I'm studying at a university in Jerusalem and partially trying to model here. I grew up partially in Jerusalem, partially in France, and partially in Boston. America, my family moved around a bit, so I've lived in all three countries. My family is, I guess, religious, Jews. I'll add that part. Yeah, that's about it.
Can you explain the motivations for yours to become a model when you grew up in a family Shomerit Mitzvot?
I've always loved creative things, so not only fashion, but also art and drawing and sculpture and painting, things like that. So I've always loved really creative things where you could see a thought process, you can see a creation process. And I'm a very tactile person, so I've also always loved things that you can touch. So I've always been drawn to the fashion industry because of that, because you can touch clothes, you put them on and you feel them, you look different because of them. And physically I've always fit in a model like stereotype more than I have into the regular population, you could say. I've always been taller and thinner than most people. So I think it was just a natural attraction that the fashion industry was something that really attracted me. And then I was like, oh, physically I could be a model. If I could do that and see fashion and see how it is, clothes and all that, why don't I try? So I guess that's really how I wanted to be a model.
Did you ever see a contradiction with the fact being a religious girl and wanted to be a model?
I think if you're religious, apart from really living with only people who are your religion and dealing only with things pertaining to your religion, it's a bit hard almost to not have contradiction. Just every day in your life there are things that you have to work around. And so personally, to me, I felt fine with the idea of modeling. I know some people wouldn't feel fine with it, and I know some people would even see how there could be a contradiction. I see how you could see it as a contradiction. I understand that point of view, but I personally, it doesn't feel like it's contradictory to me, because I can do Shabbat and Kashrut and all that and model at the same time. So if I can, why not?
Were your parents supportive? How did they react?
My parents, I think they were a bit surprised when I auditioned, because it's not really something that they expected. They didn't really expect me to come out and be like, this is what I want to do. So I think they were just a bit taken aback. Once they got used to the idea, and once they really got their brains accustomed to the whole concept, I think they were more supportive. But at first they were just kind of surprised.
Tell us, Esther, how did you have the guts to jump like this, being not trained, not be part of any modeling agency, and you were very young and you went in this, what was all this program about, and how did you find about it, and how did you have the guts to jump on board?
I wanted to model, I just didn't know how to start it out. And so I was talking to my friend, and I was talking about how I really didn't know how to even begin modeling, how to break the surface. And so she said everyone in America knows about the TV show America's Next Top Model. It's on one of the main stations. Everyone's seen it at least once when flipping through channels. There are marathons of it all the time. And so she said, for top modeling, you don't have to have previous experience. You don't really have to know what you're doing. You just physically you have to be able to do it, but that's about it. And so together we kind of planned out to audition, and so we auditioned in New York. It was a closed audition, which means either they find you or you find them. And I just made it through every step of the competition somehow. until top 7 when I was eliminated.
You became, from one day to another, in one night, overnight, somebody very famous for your young age. How do you deal with that? Does it bothering you? Is it frightening you? Is it fun? And there was a lot of writing about you from the Jews, from the agency, maybe model agency. So tell us about where you stand and how do you live with that.
It's true, I did kind of go overnight because of a TV show into someone who people somehow recognize a bit. And so that is a bit weird because I walk down the street and I see people who know me but I don't know them. And so it's always a bit weird because they're like, oh, your name's Esther, you're this, you're that, I can describe you, I know where you grew up, I know what schools you went to, but I don't know who they are. So that's I'm still getting used to that. That being said, it's true. A lot of people, Jews especially, have been writing about me on Top Model, and most of it is not very positive. Most of it is either neutral, like they don't really say an opinion; they just say there's a Jew on Top Model, or it's not very flattering, yes. It's not very nice or flattering about me being a top model and, you know, what that means for other Jews, what that must say about me as a person. And so that's a bit hard sometimes. It was a bit harder at first, because at first I would read it and I'd be like, oh, you don't like me? Like, I'm sorry. Like, please like me. I'm still a nice person. Now I really don't care as much, because I know what I do, and I know that when I went on the show, there's nothing I did which really I should be that incredibly ashamed of. I don't really think, and so whatever, like, random bloggers don't agree with my decision. But there's a difference. I think there still, though, is a difference between not agreeing with my decision and saying I would not have done that, I would not want my daughter to do that, and between either writing rude things or saying things about me as a person, either on the internet or to people, because there's a difference. Like, I'm still a human being, for all that entails. It's not like I'm a little robot who makes decisions, at total random. So that's a bit frustrating sometimes, but whatever. Like, I made my decision, maybe theirs.
What about your friends? Do they stick by you, or?
Yeah, my friends all think it's really funny because they watch a show and they see all these things and they're like, oh wow, you see every single one of your little habits. Like, when you're saying something and to just a random person, it looks like you're just saying something a bit weird, but I know exactly what you're saying. Like, I understand everything you're doing. So I think for them it's also a bit strange because they're just my friends, and then they're with me and someone will recognize me and they're like, oh, that's right, like, you were on the show. But they've been good about it. They've been really funny about it.
So Esther, what's your projects now, and do you think you will have you will see the necessity to choose between your two worlds so you can reconcile both?
I don't really, as of now, I don't really have to choose right now between modeling and staying religious. And so because I don't have to choose, like, I'm not really that concerned about in the future. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, if I get to it. Hopefully I won't have to. For the future, I'm not sure. I want to study. I want to go to college in New York. Apart from that, I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Right now, I have a pretty good time for modeling. So I can, I can do modeling, I can work around, and I don't have that many responsibilities, so I'm a bit free and open. But I'm not really sure what my plan for the future is.